Ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing out there today? Welcome to the side, Jawn. We have been here this morning. Start off a little late. We're a little shaky. So just a little shaky. I am your host, Dennis Holmes. I'm here with my co-host, the Chocolate Girl.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Dennis, how are you?
I'm feeling pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Today, Saturday morning. I just went to vote in our primary election this morning. Just want to remind everybody, if elections are going on where you live, exercise your right to vote.
Always.
And for those of you who think your vote does not matter, I encourage you to go back and read something on the 2000 presidential election. Other than that, it's been a pretty interesting week. We had the NFL schedule release day on Thursday. I'm sure that was exciting for some of us. And it's just been a really interesting week. Good to be here with you though, partner.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm glad to be here. I'm excited. Before we start the show, I want to let everybody know, rest in peace to an NBA legend, Bob Lanier, who lost his age at the age of 73. He was
Bob Lanier.
Oh, was Lanier's not Lanier?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lanier.
Lanier. He was a Hall of Famer, averaged 20 and 10 for his career. From all the reports, everybody said that he was a good dude. Commissioner Stern appointed him as the first NBA ambassador, and he remained that. Bob Lanier can rest up now.
Yeah, he was great. He was one of my dad's favorite players. I think he was drafted in 69 or 70, or I can't remember what year, but my dad really liked him. But yeah, he passed away this week. I know they had said about a week or so ago, that he wasn't doing well. I think they mentioned it on NBA TV. I was watching a program that he was having some health issues. And then he did pass away. So my heart goes out to his family. Rest in peace, Ambassador. He will be missed. He did a lot for children, a lot in the communities all over the nation, not just where he lived. He went coast to coast, just spreading encouragement to children who wanted to participate in sports, especially if they didn't have access to it. And he supported causes to get them access. So it was great. He was a great guy.
Yeah. Today's show we named In the House, because today's show, we're going to talk about, family and how you operate things inside your house. What you do in your house is not what's going on in everybody else's house. So
not at all.
Let's start with the parenting in the household. Let's start with this. Okay, everything cannot be about the kids. You have to have your own relationships to tighten and lead tight. You have to have your relationship tight to lead and raise a healthy and happy family. So here's a relationship question. Okay. Does she have to cook?
No, she doesn't have to.
Why you don't think she doesn't have to cook?
I don't think she has to cook. I think she can if she wants to cook, but it's like a trade-off. Like, okay, does she have to cook? Does he have to cut the grass and take out the garbage? Rake the leaves? Shovel the snow?
Yes, he does have to do that.
Right. How do you determine that in your household?
That's a conversation that you had from the beginning.
Exactly. But this is something, okay, this is where this question comes from. This was one of my questions, folks. But where this question comes from is, in this day and age of all this attack on gender roles, it's like, from here on out, what are people going to do with this question?
Right.
When I was coming up, it was understood that the man of the house took the garbage out. He was responsible for washing the cars. He cut the grass. He raked the leaves. He shoveled the snow. He did the heavy lifting. He did those types of things. And then the woman of the house, generally, but not all the time, this is just from my experience, would cook. She would be mostly responsible for managing the cleaning. And by managing the cleaning, I mean, it doesn't mean that she did all the cleaning. She would have the children doing chores, and then her husband or man of the house would do certain chores too. It was like a group effort. Anybody's household that I know about, that's how it was. It wasn't the woman of the house doing everything in the house and he's sitting around not doing anything. Because at least my dad did his own laundry. He did his own laundry since I was, what, 4? Since I was 4 years old.
Right.
So it caused me to wonder, because now people are against boy toys and girl toys. Is this 20 years from now, is that going to translate to a whole generation of adults and parents whose roles are going to be just all over the place because they've been raised thinking gender is bad, gender centric things are bad, you can't make a person be a man, I'm hearing all this stuff, and this just got me like confused. So that's where this question came from, things I've been hearing and reading.
Okay, now I'm gonna say my piece. She does have to cook. She doesn't have to cook every day. Okay, I ain't mad if I'm cooking, but she does have to know how to cook.
Oh, know how to.
Yeah, she
See,
does.
know how to versus doing the cooking is two different things. So I hear you. I'm glad that you differentiated that.
The other thing, she don't have to. My girls that I've been with never touch the trash, so I can't really say nothing about that. The trash, we ain't really had no grass like that to be cutting, and when we did, I ain't even cut the grass. I paid somebody else to do it. It was always some kid out there hustling, trying to make some money, so I was supporting them. But yeah, she does have to cook. She does not have to touch the trash at all. I think that's about it.
So when you say she does have to cook, if you both are sitting around talking and y'all both decide you're hungry, she's got to be the one to cook?
No, usually, I'm going to tell you what usually happens. And I know there's a lot of men out there that's going to say, yeah, this happens. Usually y'all both sitting around and you like, you know what, I want something to eat. She's like, yeah, I'm hungry too. And it's almost all the time that this happens. And next thing you'll say is, okay, so what you want? Because we already know what we want. It's simple. Things get harsh, we'll eat a sandwich. Not the women I've been with, not the guys that I've heard these stories from. It's always, oh, I don't know. Then you make suggestions. You like those buffalo wings? I don't want buffalo wings today. I don't want pizza. How about seafood? I'm not really in it for seafood. Okay, what is that you want? Because now you're just making it uncomfortable. That's all I want to know. What is it that you want? You're making it very uncomfortable. They never know what they want. Then I'm going to tell you the part that used to kill me, right? We done went through all that. Now she finally got what she wanted. But what I got, all the stuff she was saying no to, what I got, just to seem to look better. Now she wants some of what I got. You know what? It's terrible. Terrible things to be going on.
What do you mean she wants some of what you got?
Hey, some of what I got. Like I said I was going to get the buffalo wings and some pizza. And I guess she wouldn't got, the seafood that she wanted. I don't eat seafood, so. All of a sudden now she wants some of the buffalo wings and pizza.
Okay. All right. Well, I can say that happens just when my sister and I are sitting around or we're on the phone and we want to eat something and we don't know what we want and we decide we're going to eat together. We go back and forth for 15 minutes sometime. What you want? I don't know. I don't want that. We know what we don't want. We don't know what we do want sometimes. And sometimes what we want, we really have no business getting because it's not in the budget. We're both very budget conscious people. So that could have something to do with it too, Dennis.
And no, I was paying. It had nothing to do with
Not the ones that you dealt with, huh?
it.
Okay. I was trying, ladies. I was trying. Whoever those ladies are, if you're watching, I was trying to help you, girl. It's not working though.
But it's all right. You was helping them out. You was trying to make things better. It's all right.
I was trying. But here's how it would work, how it's worked. Well, I'm not gonna tell everything about myself, but okay, that's TMI. I have experienced this. We're both in the house, sitting around, doing whatever. Maybe he's working on something, I'm working on something, or we could be watching TV or anything, and we're hungry. And if it's on a Saturday, which I didn't work on Saturdays or Sunday, I might jump up and see what's in the refrigerator first. But he also cooked. He also knew how to cook. And I did not always do the cooking. When I was raised, my father rarely ever cooked. Well, that's because he just really did not know how to cook. He was raised at a time he wasn't taught to cook, and he never learned how to cook. Now, he could cook breakfast. And you know how often I hear that? I have a lot of friends who say that their fathers could cook breakfast. And I guess that's because breakfast food is the easiest to cook. I don't know.
And the cheapest.
But it's also the easiest. And so I know every man I've ever been with knew how to cook some darn good breakfast. I had a couple of them that really knew how to throw down in the kitchen. And I mean, throw down in the kitchen. I mean, they could cook. I never will say that they could outcook me, but they could cook. So there were times we would both be sitting there. And if it was on a Saturday, like I said, I would jump up and see what's in the refrigerator first, because again, I'm budget conscious. And, eating out is more expensive. But I never felt that any of them just expected me to be the little woman in the kitchen. See, that's the difference. It's a different kind of feeling when you're both sitting there chit-chatting and you like, okay, what you gonna cook? Versus being made to feel like, okay, woman, get your tail in the kitchen and cook something because I'm hungry. Because I'm hungry. It's different connotations to it. Do you feel that?
No.
You don't feel that?
I've never made no woman.
No. I meant, do you understand what I'm saying? That's what I
do
meant.
understand what you're saying. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I want to make sure you're following me.
I don't have a problem cooking at all.
Good. Well, if you have a son, I know you've got a precious little daughter, but if you have a son, are you gonna raise him knowing how to cook?
Yeah, because I don't want him to tell him the same thing. My mom, grandma, aunts, they all told me the same thing. Don't be dependent on a woman to do something for you. Know how to do everything yourself.
Yeah, I taught my son how to cook some things. I'm not saying he's a chef, but I can tell you, I
ain't no chef either, but I can get things together.
Yeah, if he lived by himself, you wouldn't just go in his house and find all these to-go boxes in his house. He would know how to cook for himself.
I had to learn how to cook and how to shop. I learned how to cook and how to shop. That's another thing. A lot of people don't even know how to go shopping.
You mean grocery shopping? You mean like grocery shopping?
Yeah, you see people grocery shopping?
Yeah, they don't know how. It's terrible. Yeah. I have to say that you're right. I see a lot of guys. A lot of guys ask me. I don't know. I must look like I really know how to grocery shop. I don't know, but I get stopped and asked a lot by men, young men, old men. Hey, what do you think? Do you think I should get in the store? Unless they're with a woman, then they're not going to ask me. But I see a lot of that. They really don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's a lot of people don't know what they're doing. You'll catch them. They'll buy all this. They buy a bunch of junk, and then you be sitting there like, so what you eating? Because you ain't buy no meat, no nothing. Like, You done spent $300 on junk.
Now I will say that my son is pretty good. I think I think he's learned more since he's been with his girlfriend now I think he's learned more about shopping, which is a good thing. Grocery shopping, I should say.
Right. So on the next question is, did you ever switch up the roles? Did you ever take out the trash and cut the grass?
Not as long as I had a man in the house with me. No.
Yeah,
No, when he's there, no. The only time I did once because it was just trash that needed to be taken out immediately and he wasn't home from work. But when he saw that I had taken the trash out, he cussed me out.
You ain't supposed to be touching the trash.
He cussed me out, but we're talking about the same guy who cussed me out because I dared open my own car door one time too.
Yeah.
He cussed me out. It was done out of love, I guess.
Well, you learned. That's what you definitely learned. We know that for sure. Oh, now you have heard the opposites attract. It could be true, but sometimes differences can be a conflict, which led me to this question. Is it important sometimes to do your thing with significant others want you to do, although you do not like to do it? Why? Yeah, it was, you try to, I'm going to tell you my story. I tried to be the nice guy and do some stuff that I know I didn't want to do, like go on a triple date with her girlfriends and all that. And I knew that shit wasn't going to work. So this is going to be boring as hell. And I was interested for a while. Then after a while, I just, I got my phone out. I was on the phone. That was one of my, I did this because you wanted me to, but I didn't really want to do it.
Did you ever do it again?
No.
But are there any other times that you did something that she wanted to do, even though you didn't want to do it? But you just did it for her because you knew it meant something to her.
I think it was another time. And I think I ended up liking it. I just can't think of what it is right now. But I think I ended up liking it.
You could be traveling. Remember, you got over your fear of flying.
My fear of flying. That's one.
Got over
my fear of flying.
Because she insisted.
Right. She did.
See, I listen to you. But for me, I think it's important in terms of relationships that sometimes you do things that the other person wants to do simply because it makes them happy. It makes them smile. It brings them joy, even if it's something you don't particularly want to do. Now, if it's something that you just have like you get triggered by, I wouldn't recommend you do it. But if it's just something you just don't prefer or you just don't, like it, you can go through it at least a couple of times just for that other person. To me, that's an act of love. Would you agree?
I agree.
Yeah. And thanks everybody who's in the comments. Thank you, Trisha Joy, Jonathan, JB just showing up. Hey, what's up? Dalton. Good morning, Dalton. And Damian Gaskins.
That's my cousin.
Yeah, I see you said cuz there. BJ Samuels.
Damo.
What's up, y'all? But what do y'all think? Do you do things for the significant others? I think so. Let me give you an example. I had a boyfriend who really liked chess. Now, I like chess. I didn't love chess, but he loves it. He still to this day loves chess, plays it online, plays it in live, plays it anytime. He'll play by himself, against a computer. He loves it. And I've always had a chess set. I learned how to play pretty good when I was in college. So I knew some things. But because of his interest in it, I would sit and let him teach me things about the game because it would bring him it would bring him so much joy to teach me. He wanted me to see it the way he saw it. I understood what he was trying to do, and it did get me to have a greater appreciation for the game of chess. But I didn't ever get to the point that he did, but it strengthen it. And so on Saturday, it usually was Saturday mornings, we would sit and he would teach me a lesson about moves and stuff. Chess is much more complicated than people know.
Yeah.
And
very strategic game. Very strategic.
It's strategic. It's all strategic, and it's about war. It's like it's a war. It's a war game. That's how it was invented. And I'm sitting there like, whoa, never looked at it that way. I didn't know that they named their moves. They have it's just like in football. Each move it's like what they were talking on ESPN the other day about swim move. No, it wasn't. It wasn't ESPN. It was on Swagoo and Perk. And all of a sudden they were talking. All of a sudden he said something about Swagoo doing the swim move.
Right.
That's a lineman move. I don't, if you're what that is, but we know. I can pretty much imagine, but you name it a move. You name moves. So if you say swim move, you play football, you automatically know what they're talking about. Same in chess. And he used to teach me these moves, and I'm like, what? It was fascinating, but I did it because it brought him so much joy. And that was something we ended up sharing in. I did it for him. It made me feel good to do it. Hey, Don's in the comments. What's up, Donovan?
Magic Don Juan.
My man, Donovan. What's up?
Thanks for the stars, Don.
Thank you, Don. Out in Cali. It's early for him.
Man, he probably at work.
Yeah. But I believe in that. I know there are some people who say, nah, forget that. I ain't doing that. I mean, I know people, friends who they're in relationships and they're like, he wanted to do what I ain't doing that. I don't care. I'm not doing that.
Right.
And that's I just look.
That's why the relationships don't last. That's why.
Yep. And I don't say anything. I just look. Now, if they ask me what do I think, I'll tell them. No, I think you should at least try it once. I think you should at least do it once. Now, if it's something that is involving something more serious in the bedroom, that's something you shouldn't be talking to me about that anyway. That's between you and him. But I'm saying
some people actually do like talking to outsiders about stuff like that, just to see a different point of view.
Yeah, but I don't need those kind of details, though. I can talk to you about my relationship with Mr. X without giving you details that are inappropriate to share, in my opinion. In my opinion, they're inappropriate. I'm a little old-fashioned.
There's actually a lot of these female podcasts out here. They go a little bit deep on what they be doing. Gargling and yeah.
That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Say no more. But anyway, okay.
Yeah, we'll leave that alone. So let's get to these relationships. Should you be on social media? Should you be on each other's social media pages? I mean, sharing passwords, having the same friends, looking at the phones. How do you feel about that?
Okay. I have to admit, in my 20s, that was really before the social media age. Okay. Before cell phones. The most technological thing we had was a pager. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have social media and all this stuff. We barely even had email. I mean, email had been invented, but we weren't using it like that. So having username and passwords when I was in my 20s, which is usually the time where you learn the most about relationships, is in your 20s. It was not even a part of it. I didn't have to worry about it. And that's the reason why the 90s was just the best decade in the world to me, because we didn't have that type of worry. We just worried about the normal things. But now you got to worry about that. So that leads to your question. How do I feel about it? Well, it depends on how your relationship is, how it starts and how it finishes. It's just, that's all I can say about it. If you're the type of person who needs to see the other person's stuff, then there's some insecurity about you, in my opinion. However, on the flip side, if you are a person who is tone deaf to the way your actions can make another person feel, and don't care about how their actions makes the other person feel, then you also have a problem, because you're not caring enough. And if you've got two people who are that way and they end up together, that's a recipe for disaster, because the one person is going to keep on doing those behaviors. The other person is going to keep on being insecure, because that feeds their insecurity, and it's not going to be right. It's going to be off balance. For me personally, I don't care about your phone, your passwords, who's liking your stuff on social media. You can have me as your friend, or if you want to, you cannot. But I can guarantee you, if you do have me as your friend on social media, I will not be examining your page to see who's liking your pictures and calling you bae and all that. I'm not doing all that. I'm just not going to do it. Why? Because my grandmama taught us, you never chase ghosts. If you don't know what that means, I can explain it to y'all. Let me know in the comments if I need to explain it. But you don't chase ghosts. You just don't do it. It is what it is.
I'm in my situation, I haven't done none of that. I don't have a password on my phone. So if you wanted to go through my phone, you go through my phone. I don't have a password on my phone. That's just the way that I've been. I'm not putting no password. The one time I had to put a password on my phone because I put my credit card on my phone. My girl at the time knew my password, but other than that, I don't put no password on my phone. But that's one. The other thing is, we knew each other's friends, but it wasn't really like that deep to me with the whole friend situation. I know your friends, they cool and all that. And I'm not one of the ones that's like too attached. Like, you got some people who are real clingy in their relationship. Everywhere they go, they right with them. Like my buddy. Wherever you
Not
go,
my buddy. No, you didn't. Not my buddy.
I wasn't like that. I usually, you was going somewhere, go ahead, enjoy yourself. Because when I go, I'm going out to enjoy myself. But then it always started to be the conversation of, oh well, you ain't come out with us last time, and everybody was looking for you. Like, who was looking for me? Then I get out there, nobody was looking for me, nobody paid me no mind. I'm like, why did you want me to come? I didn't understand. It be those situations. Then I get threatened with a date. Well, this is the day that we gonna go to such and such, so you got to make sure that you're there. All right, I'll be there. I'll go. Yeah, but I'm not clinging to nobody like my buddy. That's not what I'm doing.
No, I'm not either. I'm not gonna do that. I like the fact that I have my own interests. and my own identity outside of my relationship. So I don't have to have that. I don't have to have control over what you do. I don't even have to have knowledge of everything you do. And I know I got that way in my 20s. Now, when I was in my early 20s, I might have been a little bit different. But by the time I was 24, 23, 24 years old, I learned not to be that way. They're either going to love you and want to be with you or they're not. And there's nothing you can do to make them. And you shouldn't want to make them.
Exactly.
If they choose you, they choose you. Also, let me ask you this question. People forget that just because you're their significant other doesn't mean that you're their whole life.
No.
It's like they want to be their whole life. How do you feel about that, Dennis? Because my point of view is no. I have friends outside of my boyfriend. I have interests outside of the things we do together.
Right.
And I don't have to do everything with him. I want him to go out and do individual things with his boys or his friends, even female friends. I don't care because they're just friends. What do you think?
Hey, y'all, those are conversations that you have early to, set the, let you know what's going on. I wouldn't call it rules and boundaries. I would just let you know, you're alert. You know what's going on. I told you this is what happened. These are the female friends I'm with. I know you may think that you got Hodar, so you want to see these female friends, see if they actually trying to do something with me. Come on out and meet them. Like I said, these are the female friends that I got. We ain't doing nothing crazy. We're just chilling, relax. That's it.
Well, but I know a lot of my female friends who get into these conversations, and they always end up talking about, I was looking at his phone. And when they start the conversation with, I picked up his phone and I saw XY. As soon as she says I was looking through his phone, in my mind there's a switch that goes off. Literally. I'm done. I'm already stuck. I barely listened to the rest of her story because I don't care what she saw in the phone at that point. You had no business looking in there. Why are you looking?
Unless it was a reason that triggered you looking in.
You looking to find something. You trying to find something, and guess what? You gonna find it.
What do I call those? I call those unusual patterns. If there's some unusual patterns that's going on, then I always say, check the phone. Phone tell you everything. But if there ain't no unusual patterns and ain't nothing different happened, yeah, you just was looking for something.
Well, my thing is this. If there's some unusual patterns, you need to talk to them. Communicate about the unusual patterns. Don't go snooping in the phone. Because guess what's going to happen? This is me. Now, this is me. Because guess what's going to happen? If something's going on that you don't know about, it will be revealed to you in time when you need to know. Trust in that. And I trust in that. I'm a very firm believer in God. I am a spiritual person. And I believe that God reveals it. He allows it to be revealed in time when you need it to be revealed. He has done this for me my whole adult life. He really has. And saved me from some things that I can see now. He saved me from. I couldn't see it then.
Preach.
I'm serious. All I could see then was the hurt. But I look back at my life and I'm thinking, oh my God, where would I be if I was still there with that person? Probably never would have met you, Dennis, because I was in a relationship where he didn't want me to have any male friends.
Yeah, and I'm virtual.
Yeah, he didn't want me to have any male friends. And he never said, you can't have any. It was his actions that told me. You know what I'm saying? He never tried to do the dictatorial thing, but you know what he was getting at. You knew by his behavior, he didn't like that.
He wasn't Adolf Hitler, but he was trying to be.
You trying. So I don't know. I'm a lot freer now because I can have friends, anyone I want. I don't have to worry about that. Like if the person that I don't talk about, that you and I have talked about, he doesn't care who my friends are. He's just like, whatever. And he has female friends.
But it don't get to that point. That's
Yeah,
the whole
I
thing.
don't care.
Don't ever get to that point.
So here's the question.
Cross those boundaries.
Here's what is she talking about? Do you see what Trisha said?
I see what she wrote, but we can't.
But
say
I don't understand what she talking about. But anyway,
what I walk into. I said
she'll have to send me a message on that. I don't know what she mean. But I'm slow this morning. But so here's the question.
What I walk into.
Nothing, Trisha. We still talking about relationships. But here's my question. Can men, this is a question I hear on so many podcasts. Can men and women be just friends and it not be sexual?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even understand why that's a topic of conversation.
Well, because some people don't believe that they could just be friends and it not be sexual at all. Like they always think that at some point in some time it's gonna cross that line. But it don't have to. I got a female friend I've been friends with almost 20 years now.
Do I know her?
No, you don't know her.
No, I don't know her. Okay.
Almost 20 years. I'm going to have her on the show.
Well, listen. Yeah, you should. We should have our friends. Oh, yeah, we should do a best friends show or something like that. Put that in the chat. But okay, BJ. BJ says Sharon and I are married currently. He called me his girlfriend yesterday. Now he's saying he called me his wife yesterday too. I'm saying, not his girlfriend.
Yesterday weird.
On a podcast in the comments, but he said, but it's only from September until January. From September through January, no. Because he's a Ravens fan and I'm a Steelers fan. So we get a divorce every September. But anyway, I just don't understand. I don't understand the thinking. I don't understand the thinking, Dennis. I really don't.
Well, there's a lot of I'm one of those freak guys, so a lot of people don't believe a lot of women don't believe that I actually have female friends that I haven't done anything with. A lot of women don't believe that because I'm actually a real freak guy, but not all. I like calm down a whole lot, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now the younger me, it's a little different, but as you get older, you start to see like, you know what? If you don't cross that line sexually, you all right. But once you cross that sexual line, they different. They ain't even the same girl.
So in my opinion, this is just, let me just say the thoughts and opinions of the chocolate girl do not reflect the thoughts and opinions necessarily of the Ignorant Thinkers podcast and Dennis Holmes and the Side Jawn. This is just sharing the chocolate girl's opinion. People who feel they cannot be friends with a person of the opposite sex without it turning into some sexual situation or the possibility of it, I feel do not know the true meaning of friendship. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Because my male friends, there is nothing sexual in it. Nothing sexual ever enters my mind ever about them. Even how handsome they are, how they dress. I'll look at them and be like, man, you really look good. Not, man, you really look good. Licking my chops looking good. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just like, you really looking good. What girl you going out with? They're like brothers to me. I didn't have a brother growing up.
Right.
And so my male friends are like my brothers and sons, because depending on what, how old you are. Like you and all the Stay Tuned, y'all all younger than me.
Right.
I look at y'all like my sons, nephews, brothers, that's how I look at you. Ain't no way I'm looking at one of y'all on the podcast and be like, I wonder what it'd be like to be with him. No. Yuck. That's how I look at it. Not that y'all are yuck, but the thought of it never comes in my mind. It's just nasty to me. I just don't think of it that way.
Yeah.
And I believe I'm better off for it because I have some great male friends that have taught me so much about men. And I believe you need that. As a woman, we need that. We need some good male friends that's going to tell you the truth to help us deal with these men because y'all crazy as hell.
Now, see, this new generation, they'll go around, saying, oh, that's, females say, that's my bro. Guys will say, that's my sis. We ain't doing nothing. Next thing you know, they pregnant by them. So, it shocks me all the time. So I just leave it alone. I leave it alone. But the comments done went through the roof, though.
Yeah, man. Finally, y'all late. Y'all later than we are. We sitting there waiting on where y'all been. Shout out to OG. Shout out to Sister Sheila in the comments now. Sister Sheila. We got to get her a shirt that says Sister. Sista. Sheila. Trisha Joy is back. Ain't no telling what Trisha talking about, boy. I tell you, that girl, she's so creative and crazy. It's all get out. But anyway. So anyway, that's how I feel about it. Put it in the comments. I see what Sister Sheila said. So I'm going to read a couple of these comments. Sorry, I forget y'all. But Sheila's talking about the friends of the opposite sex. And she said, I am good with friends of the opposite gender, but it's okay for both people, not just the guys. That's right. And I do know some situations where the guys think they should have the freedom to have female friends, but let her have some. With guys, they have a problem with it. Nah, bruh. That's not happening. And Sheila also said, I have great friends of both genders with no sexual anything, and I'm comfortable that it's mutual. Thank goodness for my male friends that have taught me so much. Yes, Sheila. Yes, that's what I was saying just a minute ago. They have really taught me. It really helped in my growth to move from being an insecure chick to a very secure chick. And it happened when I was in college. That's when I really got tight with a lot of males, and they helped me learn what to do and not to do. If he's listening, shout out to Carlton Valentine, man. I learned a lot from him. He taught me a lot. BJ said, I told my wife she can have friends. You know you're married. It's your choice to do whatever. It is you. Oh, you have your choice to do whatever it is you do. Sorry, BJ. I kind of messed that up. You still muted, Dennis. So I couldn't hear you.
Let's talk about this date night. All right.
What about date night?
Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that they have problems with date nights because, they got kids in the house and they can't really get a babysitter. That's one of their biggest problems. They can't get a babysitter. Mm-hmm. So my suggestion is to these couples that you have to start training your kids, once they in double digits. You get them one of them to double digits, you have to start training your kids to be in the house by themselves. I ain't telling you it take no long time like that. But first you start off little by little, like just going to the store that's around the corner and coming back. And don't go back in the house immediately. Sit on the porch and listen and see what's going on in your house with them kids.
I did
I'm going to let you know straight up who's going to mess up the whole house. Little one. Mm-hmm. The little one is the worst one in the house. I'm letting you know that straight up right now.
Yeah.
So that's test number one. Just be like 15 minutes. Next test you got, go take a trip to Walmart, leave the cell phone at the house, take a trip to Walmart, make a phone call about 20 minutes in and see what's going on at the house. See who's in the house messing up. Because you got to keep training them to be in the house by themselves. You got to keep training them so then when you finally go on that date that you out for 3 hours and you make that phone call to see what's going on at the house, and you know everything is good. They'll be trained. They'll know. All right, well, she ordered us pizza. We got pizza. We got wings. We can sit here. We ate, playing the game all day. That's basically all the boys do. They play the game all day. You know, the little girls watch TV all day. That's basically all you got. So get yourself trained for a date night. That's all I'm gonna say. Train yourself. Train them kids for a date night.
OG said, "Give the kids NyQuil." No interruption. Oh my gosh. No, OG. We're not gonna drug or medicate the kids so we can go somewhere. That is so funny.
There's a lot of you notice there's a lot of Benadryl in the house, so Benadryl. And what's them sleeping Z's they got? The big purple bottle of them Z's?
I have no idea.
Giving kids them gummies? Oh yeah.
I know nothing about that type of stuff.
They drugging them kids to go to sleep.
Well, I don't mind. I mean, give them a little cough medicine. That'll help too.
Yeah, see, cough medicine. That's another one. A little codeine.
Just put a little bit in there in the little milk bottle.
All right, now let's get on to these date nights. Date nights, regular time away from the kids. The focus on you. Is it important? I focus on you too. Is it important?
Yes, it is. It is. Because when you're a couple and you're in the house raising children, working jobs, one or two jobs or more than that, everything cannot always be work. And raising children is work. We enjoy it, but it's work. You gotta have respite. RESPITE. You have to have it. You gotta have some time to recharge your batteries. You gotta have some time to continue knowing your partner, whoever they are. You need to have time for that because you grow and evolve. So you, Dennis, you 34?
36. Be 37.
36. Okay. I gotta put that digit up. I keep thinking you still 35. You 36.
I look good. Don't worry about it.
36. All right, 36. So are you the same as you were at 26?
No.
So if you were with a woman these past 10 years and she does not ever get date nights and stuff, y'all get time alone, she doesn't know the 36-year-old then. She thinks she's still talking to the 26-year-old then.
Right.
But you this is how you gotta keep up with each person's evolvement. We all evolve. Change is good, but you got to keep up with it. Yes. And another thing you don't want to ever happen, you don't want to ever be out in the street and somebody in the street know more about what your partner is doing than you. Understand what I mean? So you could be, if you don't get time alone, the sharing is cut down and you don't even realize it. Oh, I thought I told you. You forget.
Sometimes it's a little hard to get time alone.
It is, but let me tell you, to me, it's worth the effort.
It is worth the effort.
It's worth the effort. If you love your partner the way your mouth says that you love your partner, you're going to make the effort. You're going to make it. Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you balance with the work-life expectations and responsibilities?
A calendar. I am a visual person. Okay. I am a visual learner, cognitive learner. I like to touch, see, smell, do. That's how I learn, and that's how I keep up with my life. So I try to keep everything in my head, but I actually need to write it down, graph it out, that type of thing. So let me tell you something that I recommend. If this is you and you have your partner and you all have children and you're living together in the house, you need to have a visual calendar where you block off time, but you also need to plan ahead. The one thing people without children responsibilities that they complain about with with people with children is that they want them to take the children. They want they want to keep the children. They want them to them to keep their children at a moment's notice and not ahead of time. And that's what you should avoid. Having a calendar and planning ahead helps you keep from doing that. That's all I'm saying. As OG says in the comments, you need to have a coochie calendar and a work calendar. Well, it's true. And you need to mark that time off. What's up, Shania? Shania's in the comments. Shania is my son's girlfriend and the mama of my precious grandbaby. I'm sorry, y'all. I get giddy when I talk about Nova. Oh my goodness. That's my little grandbaby. But anyway.
Shout out to Shania.
Hey, what's up, Shania? My sister says to talk about, Sheila said, talk about everything and anything all the time. Yes, you need to be able to communicate. And it's hard to communicate. Okay, let me just tell you a schedule that I had at one time. Work. I used to get to work at 7. I didn't get off till 5:15, 5:30. Go pick up Daryl. Had to be there before 6 to pick him up from daycare. I had to take him to soccer practice by 6:30. So 6:30 to 7:30, 7:45, maybe almost 8 was soccer practice. Now, mind you, we haven't had dinner yet, right? Most of the time we haven't had dinner yet. So then we got to come home, take showers. Then it's time for me to cook dinner, help him with his homework, anything that I need to do in the house. And then it's time to go to bed, right? So if I wanted to, at the time, there was no man in the house. I was single mom. So how was I supposed to find time to date? That's how my schedule was during the week. Then the weekend, it was more of the same. Soccer games were on Saturdays. I had to have time for housework. I had to have time to grocery shop. Had to have some time to talk to my family and call my sister and talk to my mom and dad and, that type of thing. Had to have time to do laundry, other chores. Had to have time to cook for the following week. Went to church every Sunday morning. I mean, you have to have time for everything. And a calendar used to help me manage all of that. So I get it. I get it when people say they don't have time for date night, but you need to fight for it. If you need to fight for it, even if you don't have that other person, your partner doesn't live in the house with you, you really need to fight for that time because it makes you better as parents when you're raising the children.
I agree with that. I think the way I used to balance it, we would sit down, we would talk about our days off and see what kind of events was going on those days, or buy tickets to it. And we knew, in advance, okay, we're gonna go to this on this day. So we'll work up. We'll get brand new outfits to go to this event, and we'll go there and we'll have a good time. That's usually how we did it. And a lot of things that you got to do when you together, wife, kids, and all that, you got to plan ahead. Like when we was going on vacation, we was paying for vacations 6 months before the vacation was even coming, because we already knew we had to budget that money and plan ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, my first plane trip to New Orleans, we paid for that ahead of time. I think the trip was in November. We was already paid for in July.
Mm-hmm. But you planned ahead.
Right.
Planned ahead. And see, when my son was little, it was just me and him. So I didn't go out. In the rare occasion that I found another single mama who had a little girl and I had a son. On a rare occasion, I would let him stay over there with her. And she would do the same. She would bring her daughter over and she would stay over there with us. but it was on a rare occasion. Or I would let him stay around the corner. He met a friend around the corner and they had a son and go over there. But that's how it was. But it was on a rare occasion.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about the children, let's talk about these children. Many arguments come up about how to raise them. How many of you people in the comments actually whoop your kids? That's what I want to know.
Whoop? You mean spank? Like spank or whoop? Or what do you mean?
Whip. So, I'm talking about whip. Spank, I don't know about no spanking. I don't think all kids need whoopings all the time, but I do think that they need some when it gets too extreme.
They need what?
They need whippings when they get too extreme. Like when you start to act out in school, you need your ass beat. That's how I'm just gonna say it. You over there talking back to adults, you need your ass beat.
But why do you think whooping children works?
Because obviously you already done talked to them and told them not to do it, and they keep doing it. So you already went through the proper steps and channels of not whooping them, and it ain't work. They need their ass beat.
Okay.
Now I don't believe on all things that they need their ass beat out. Kids playing around the house, they break something, that's gonna happen. I don't think they need their ass beat for that. You might need to stand in the corner and learn how to do it again, or I might cut the Wi-Fi off to get y'all to clean the house.
Well, do you think language is important though, and how you talk about it? Like you said whoop and I said spank. And then BJ put in the comments beat.
Right.
I'm not talking about beating. See, whooping, spanking, beating for me means something different. That's just me. But what do you think about that, Dennis? Is language important in how you talk about it?
No.
I think so.
I know you're the words. You're the words lady. I always call you the wordsmith.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
It makes a difference because if you tell me you beating your children, to me, that's violence. It's just like just like I told the story of the girl whose butt I kicked at the end of school every school year from 6th through the 8th grade.
Right.
I beat her butt 3 years in a row. Last day of school.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't think
but
that
I don't want to beat my children. Whoop that trick.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not going to beat, but I didn't beat my child. I'm not going to beat my son. I'm not going to beat him. But I'm not going to beat him. But I do believe in a tap. I do believe in tapping that behind when they're little. And only on their behind. I don't think that you should be popping them upside the head and on the legs and the arms and back. And no. That's it.
I haven't given out any beatings, whippings, or taps. I got the voice, I got the voice that'll make my daughter upset. And my nieces and nephews, I cut the Wi-Fi off. They're immediately upset.
See, these kids now, they got more things to take away too.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, being on punishment in our household was punishment though, because we were an active family. So there were things to take away. When I was raising my son, yes, there were things to take away too, but I'm a single mom raising a boy. I had to whoop him. You could not whoop your son. Now notice I said whoop. I didn't say beat. I said whoop.
BJ.
You laughing at BJ.
I believe in tagging him. Real quick jab.
You know BJ not doing that to his children. I ain't thinking about BJ. But Shania says, Shania says, I think if you, Shania says, hold on, I got to go back.
He gonna say real quick, Jared.
I think if you teach kids from young, you won't need to hit them. A lot of kids fear their parents rather than respect them. She does not believe in, whooping the kids. And I understand that. It also depends on your childhood experience and all of that. And let me tell you, I'm here to tell y'all, y'all heard me talk about my mama last week. My mama whooped my behind. You hear me?
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe I got a whooping every day when I was in 6th grade. Because that's the age 11, when girls tend to start going crazy with their mamas. I've seen it in all kinds of families. And I believe I got a whooping every day in 6th grade. It didn't make me resent my mom or hate her, or it didn't make me violent. Like some of the psychologists say, it teaches children to solve things through violence. Well, no, I feel like something bit me. But no, it does not. It did not teach me that.
I always said the joke to my brother. I said, our mom was the ass whooping champ. It didn't matter what she got her hands on. She was whooping out both our ass if we did something we weren't supposed to. She was ass whooping champ. So when I got older, I got away from all them ass whoopings. I started asking questions. That's why I always had the story about me going to the store to go get the whatchamacallem. I ain't know what it was because I don't eat candy like that. I ain't know whatchamacallem was a candy bar.
Yeah, you told me that.
So I'm asking my mom, like, Mom, so what you want from the store? Oh, whatchamacallem? Mom, no, seriously. No. What is it that you want from the store? Seriously. If I got to tell you one more time, all right, never mind. You know what? I'm going to go to the store, go get a whatchamacallem. Never mind. I don't know what I'm going to go get now.
Did you ever figure it out, though?
Once I got in the store, somebody else ordered one right before me. Can I get 2 whatchamacallums? What in the... I'm like, what are those? See, I didn't eat candy. My mom would set me up to go get stuff that she knew I didn't eat. She'll send me to the seafood store knowing I'm allergic, but she knew I wasn't going to eat her shrimp. She sent my brother to the seafood store. He might not come back with the same amount of shrimp in the bag. He might eat half of them before he get back.
Right. Well, my mother had some guns on her from birth. There are pictures I've seen of my mother when she was in her 20s. She had arms like Tina Turner. She had them arms. And yeah, she used to whoop our butts, but man, sixth grade was a change of my life. But I believe you have to tell your child why you're spanking them. You have to tell them why. I don't believe that you should you shouldn't do it with anger. And I know that's difficult to do or say because what they've done or not done has made you so angry, it's hard to do. I didn't always get it right. Let me say that. But they say if you're going to spank them, try to do it without doing it in anger. Shania said my mom hit me for the first time at 16 and I cried. Well, you know what? You know what? She's spoiled. 16. Well, let me tell y'all something. My father never spanked us. Never spanked us. My father never spanked. He left it up to mom. And I'm telling you, I feared mama more than him. Because mama was not a joke. But in all seriousness, I think I don't want to characterize. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
My dad, he was another one. He was a ass whooping professional as well. But see, my dad, because I only got in trouble in school. So my dad would say it right before the school year. He'd say it every year. Like, yeah, I just got a new belt. Got your name on it. I'd be like, oh, here we go. Like, Then the one year I was like, Dad, you know what? You jinx me. Stop saying it. You jinx me every year. Stop saying it.
Well, here's what I was going to say as well. You I don't know. I think about spanking, you have to determine, your kids, what works with them and what does not. That's one thing I will say. Like Sheila said, effective discipline is customized to the child in circumstances. Talking works this time, taking things away may work next time, but sometimes dot dot dot. Sometimes you got to tap that behind.
Sometimes you got to whoop that trick.
That's right. I believe that. I don't believe you have to, as soon as you do anything, you just jump on them and beat their ass. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. And like Shania reminded us, a hard head makes a soft behind. She said her grandma used to say that, and it's true. It's true. So OG said my niece and nephew know Comic View will go down in front of whoever. I'm calling names and all. Too easy to whoop ass. But I'm just saying, you have to do what's best for your household. And
Wait a minute, Coach BJ, you popping the kids on the team? Well, they at your house, so never mind. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, they always over there. Yeah, they might as well be one of your kids.
Might as well one of your kids. If you, I got your rule, BJ. If you feed them, they yours. Hell.
Well,
feed them long enough, they start to look like you.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, punishing kids, whooping kids. But the one thing I know about whether or not you're going to use corporal punishment is what they call it. Before you have children with someone, you should talk about how you believe in raising kids.
Yes, you should. Before you even start going raw, let's get that out the way. Before you start going raw.
Okay, Dennis.
You need to start talking about that.
Okay, Dennis. Wow. That was assumed in what I said, but thank you for making it blatant and real, because this is the side, Jawn, where we say how we feel and mean what we say, and I appreciate that. But yeah, you need to have a discussion, because besides money, I believe how to raise the children is probably, I don't know, you can fact check me, it's probably the second greatest reason why relationships fail, because of disagreements on how to raise the children. I can tell you I can tell you that can lead to a failure in a relationship if you don't get it straight ahead of time. Don't assume just because y'all vibe so well and everything else, that certainly when you have children, you're going to see it the same way too. Don't leave that to chance. Now, I learned that the hard way. So just be sure before the child gets here. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. Now one time I had a conversation with a girl, and I was telling her when I was about 8 years old, I was taking out the trash. That was one of the things that I had to do. I was one of the ones who Mondays I wanted to watch wrestling. So in order for me to watch wrestling, trash had to be taken out. Trash wasn't taken out, I wasn't watching wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just that simple. So she had a son. He was like, I think he's about 10. And she was like, yeah, my son don't take out the trash. So why not? Why he don't take out the trash? Well, what are you doing? He just sitting there. What is he doing? Why he don't take out the trash? Oh, I still take out the trash. What you taking out the trash for? What you doing? And then she got upset with me. My son don't have to take out trash. And okay, all right. I ain't gonna say no more. It's simple things like that. You just don't want nobody else to tell you about your child. Right?
Listen, my son been taking out trash since he was big enough to carry the trash. When he outgrew the height of the bag, that's when he started taking trash out. That's just the way it is. And see, we live in apartments. So you had to take the trash. If we didn't have like a big old trash can in the garage, no, you had to take that to the dumpster. So ever since he knew how, Ever since he was taller than a bag of trash, he's been taking the trash out.
Yeah,
He comes home to take my trash out now.
see, my in my neighborhood, the raccoons started to get crazy around the time I was taking trash out. So I was a little scared to take out trash at night. Because I had a feeling one of the raccoons was gonna come out there. And then my uncle went and hyped it up and said, yeah, they can open the door with their hands and everything. I said, oh no, they don't too much. And these raccoons looked like they was on steroids. It was way bigger than the raccoons you see on TV.
Wow, not no raccoons. I would have been scared to death. Well, that question that I asked about the spanking the kids that I put in there in our show lineup, I put that in there because I was watching a video of a Black man who was talking about we whoop our children in the Black community because we were taught to whip people as slaves. And he said whooping children is wrong and it's barbaric and it's something that we learn from our slave masters. And we need to rail against that as people and, in the cycle of violence is what he called it. What do you think about that, Dennis?
It might, then again, it might not. Some kids are just meant to be violent and do violent things. I don't think it has to do with what's going on in the house. I think it's more so what's going on out the house that encourage them to do violent things like that. In the house, in the house may be a whole different situation. I knew a guy who was bad as hell, but in the house, he was a whole different person in the house than he was out the house. You go to him, to his mom's house to go help him clean his room and stuff like that, just so he go outside. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Yes, sir, no, sir. He ain't have, no back talking nothing like that. When he got outside, well, that was different. That was a different guy. That ain't the same guy. That's why I was. Yeah. It's more so a product of your environment.
Yeah, I didn't. I could understand where he was coming from, but I don't believe that we as a community necessarily believe in whooping, like tie them to a tree, whoop kids type of thing. I don't believe that that's where that came from. I just don't, but okay. Yeah. So here's another kid question that I put in there was, are we supposed to make our kids do what we believe is best for them, or are we supposed to teach them the way they should go and love them if they go that way or not? Is it supposed to be conditional?
I think it's a combination of both. I wouldn't say force. I ain't forcing anything. The only thing I'm forcing you to do is go to school. That's the one thing I'm for. You're going to school. You're going to school. You're getting a high school diploma. That's what you're going to do. I'm forcing that part. But the rest of it, yeah, I'm teaching because you may have a gift in something that me and your mother may not have had a gift in. Mm-hmm. And you may be very talented in it. So I'm not going to hold you back from your gift, but you are going to school. That's what you're going to do. You're going to go to school. You're going to keep the house clean. You're going to do your chores and take out the trash and everything else you're supposed to do. Those are the things I'm enforcing.
Mm-hmm. But what about decisions for their life? Like if you feel like they have a gift in one area, but they decide, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to go over here and get this job in a factory somewhere, and that's all I want to do.
That's on them. All you could do is the best you can do as a parent to lead them to what you believe is success. But they may not see it. They may not see it till they're 30 years old. And you know what, Mom, you was right. I should have just went here and went to that school I'd have been out by now. I'd have been making $200,000 a year. Instead, I'm right here making $60,000 a year, struggling.
Yeah. You know, here's a saying. Here's a saying. A wise man or person, a wise person learns from the mistake of others. A fool learns from their own mistakes. That's one thing to think about. And that's what I tell young people. The second thing is you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make him drink. And that is so true. That's so true. You can even lead by example. I mean, I've led a pretty clean life. I wasn't out there doing all kind of stuff. But if I had a child, which I don't, my son is wonderful, but if I had a child that was out here on America's Most Wanted, that wouldn't be because of me. But I still would love him because he's my son.
Right.
He's my son. That's my son. And I love him more than anything. Despite, even if he does not fulfill my vision that I had for him when he was a little baby sitting in the bassinet, and I'm like, he's going to be, and he's going to, no. No. And he doesn't have to do that. I believe we put undue pressure on kids to live up to our expectations. And I don't believe it's fair all the time. I believe we should meet children where they are and let them become who they are going to be and love them despite it or in spite of it or regardless of whatever it is. We should still love them and don't love them any different.
I agree with that.
What about favorites? If you got multiple children, do you have favorites?
Yeah,
do you favor the child that's easier to raise? I mean,
whichever child got me something for my birthday, that's usually how they move up on the list. Favorites.
You stupid.
That's how they move.
But what if they all got you something?
Then they all my favorite. That's how I go.
They can't all be. You gotta have a pecking order, right?
Yeah.
Is it a pecking order?
It would be if I had a bunch of kids and my birthday came up and ain't none of them call me and give me nothing. Yeah, it's just gonna be me and the dog. That's it.
Oh man, hush. No, seriously, though. Seriously, do you believe in having favorites in your kid?
No favorites, but you do love them different. Like you can't love your daughter the same way you love your son. Like you do love them different because you got to give extra care to your daughter. Like, your daughter get older. Oh, Dad, I need a couple dollars. The first thing you're thinking about, if she don't get it from me, then she might be out there doing something nasty for her. So here go a couple dollars. But when your son come around, Dad, I need a couple dollars. What you need a couple dollars for? You go out there cut the grass or something, wash the car. It's a little different. It's just a little different. You're a little bit more hard on your son. He needs a couple dollars. He needs to explain it. Your daughter needs a couple dollars. You like, no, you ain't about to be a $40 girl. That's ain't what you about to do. All right.
Yeah, Steve Harvey said the same thing. Because he's got, what is it, 6 kids, I think it is. And his daughters can come to him for anything. He'll give it to them. It's really no question. His sons, they gotta work for it. Because he truly believes that women are supposed to be catered to. That's how he feels. And his daughter, he's like, look, he told these men dating his daughters, and one of them I know got married. He's like, look, if you want to date my daughter or you want to marry my daughter, just know this is the expectation. And if you don't believe in that, I won't give you my blessing. Period. And I get it. Yeah, so I don't believe in favorites. I believe that parents who show favorites in their children actually hurt their children. I believe they cause the child that they don't favor, I believe that child feels it and knows it, even if they don't express it. And I believe it negatively affects their self-esteem. I knew a family of 8 children. 2 of the children was her kids, but not the father's kids. But all 8 of them were raised together. They made no difference. Her husband made no difference in those children. And I learned something from that. Same thing with my grandmother, but it started with my grandmother. My grandmother, way back in the 40s, took in 2 children who were left like orphans from a tragedy. She took them in when they were very young and raised them as her own. My grandmother, my grandmother and grandfather. And those are my aunts. Period. Those are my aunts. And she raised them just like she raised the others in our family. So they're all brothers and sisters, and we're brother and sisters. And that's how I looked at it. So I learned at a very young age, you don't make differences in your children. Not in that way. Yes, they're different people. So yeah, you may have to raise them differently or affect them differently. Things affect them differently, but you don't make differences. You definitely don't show favoritism. Luckily for me, I only had 1 child. I didn't have to worry about, worrying about if the other child felt slighted or anything. I didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I'm same here. I didn't have to worry about that at all.
Like I said, I really think it does damage to their self-esteem. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, so you got that middle child syndrome, where the middle child feel as though that they not getting no love. The youngest child get too much love, and the oldest child, as I would always say, the oldest child takes all the unnecessary punishment, I would say.
To me, the oldest is always, they always put the highest expectations on the oldest.
Right.
And the expectation that the oldest needs to be an example for the others.
Right.
And that can be pressure on the older child. It can be undue pressure. But it also can be a beneficial place to be in, to be the firstborn, though.
Yeah, I was the oldest.
Yeah, well, I'm the baby. And I love it. I'm the baby out of our section, our generation of cousins on my mother's side. I'm the baby.
I don't even know where I'm at on that. It's too many of us.
Mm-hmm.
Too many.
Well, my mother had a brother and a sister, and 6 children came out of them, those 3. So each of them had 2 children. So I can count my first cousins on my mother's side. That's it.
Oh, well, if that's the case,
actually,
I am the oldest.
Wait a minute, I just said it wrong. That's not right. I forgot. My aunts that I just told you were my aunts. So there were 5 children, and all 5 of them had 2 children. So there's 10 of us, and I'm the baby. I'm the baby out of our generation of us. Now, my uncle's children are younger, in another decade, another generation. So they're younger. There's 2 of them younger than me.
Right.
But I'm the baby in the generation that grew up together of cousins. And I love it.
I'm the oldest on my mom's side. And on my dad's side, I'm not the oldest. My dad got, all together, there was 6 of them. And my mom, all together, is 4 of them. 3 girls, 1 boy. So
let me tell you, my dad's side, there's so many that I don't know about, and all that. I don't even know how many cousins I got out there. You could be my cousin, I wouldn't know. I mean, we could very easily be cousins. But anyway, moving on, I wanted to ask this question about children in general because you've known me now 2 years, and I have told you
Yeah.
that
It
I
has been
have
2 years.
it's been about 2 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, in May. Yep, 2 years. And I have a heart for children and the elderly. Those are my passions. Just how we treat our children, how we treat our elderly people. It's just it just unnerves me how this country is with our children. It's like, why is it that, we as a nation, we don't do better looking after and protecting and nurturing our children? I don't understand it. This is the future for real. I see more being done with animals than I do to protect animals than children. I see people getting more time for mistreating animals than they do for abusing children. When are we going to stop this nonsense? And what can we do to change it? That's what I want to know. When I'm searching, going through my timeline, and I see all these FPCA or whatever they are, the PETA people and all about these dogs, and they're rescuing dogs. The stories are very interesting. They find these stray dogs on the side of the road. They come back every day trying to convince the dog to come with them, and they finally rescue the dog, take them back, clean them up, get them medical care. Somebody fosters them until they find a home. Why aren't we doing better with our children, though? The foster care system is just like rife with horror stories. Horror stories. Child molestation, child rape, child abuse, child neglect. It's just, but you don't hear about that with fostering these animals. But with the children, you do. And then it's always the excuse, well, there's no money to put in it. But we just sent billions of dollars to the Ukraine. The Ukraine. I guess they're supposed to be some type of ally. But the Ukraine is over there telling black people they can't get on the train to get out of harm's way. So I'm not feeling Ukraine and helping Ukraine right now. So for me, as a nation, we got to do better for our children. We should be as fierce out here about policies to protect children as we are about these stupid animals that I don't give a darn about. I'm gonna be honest with you. Animals supposed to be out there roaming free. They're animals. But we are human, and we have to protect these children. From the attack on public school to no access to health care, all of a sudden people bashing gender norms. You can't treat your girl like a girl and your boy like a boy. If you do, all of a sudden you're anti-trans people. No, I'm not. But I'm gonna get a Barbie for my little girl, and I'm gonna get a truck for my boy, and I don't find anything wrong with that. These children are growing up confused, Dennis. Why are we confusing the children like this?
They trying to say that, it shouldn't be no, oh, this is for a boy, this is for a girl. But, I grew up in a house full of little girls, so I had to help them out playing Barbies. I didn't turn out no extra way. They had to help me out playing football. They ain't turn out no extra way. It was just help.
It's different. It's different now. What's going on now is indoctrination. That's what I'm talking about. And what they're doing is they're indoctrinating these children to not be gender aware at all, as if it's a crime to be aware of your gender.
There's some schools that got the bathroom and just say bathroom. Ladies or guys going in. Genderless bathroom, I think it was called.
I don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that. But they're doing that because of this whole movement of fairness and equity for people who identify as trans or what's the other word? It's another word. It's a word that they don't identify with any gender. I
don't
can't
know.
remember what the word is,
I just put
but
them all in the LGBTQ
yeah.
community.
But this is the thing, and this is I'm a safe space for people of any whatever, any sexual orientation, any identity, whatever. I am a safe space for these people, anyone. But I'm sorry, I'm not ashamed to say I am a woman.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes they shame us because I like to say I'm a woman, hear me roar. I'm a woman, I love my nails and my makeup and my purses and my stilettos. I'm a woman and I love pink and I love diamonds and I love, you know, feminine things.
I love pink too.
But I'm just saying, I'm a woman. I love being a woman, honey. There's nothing else I'd rather be. But if certain people hear you say that, it's almost like they take offense. And I'd never seen this before. Not even in the 70s when the 70s was wow. You hear me? In the early 80s? Wow. You could go to a party and see a bowl of cocaine on the table and people popping ludes and all kind of ecstasy and stuff. I mean, it was wild. I didn't participate in it, but I'm saying this was what was going on in the nation regularly. But now, but back then, you were a man or you were a woman, and that's how it was. And you had a few people that identified as something else, but it wasn't like you were wrong for saying what you identify as is what you were born as. And now I feel like I'm being made to feel bad because I am proud to be a woman. I'm proud to have a sexual identity, a gender identity, I should say, a gender identity. I'm proud I have it. It shouldn't take away from the people who do not. That's what I'm saying. I need to create a word for us. I don't know what word I could create, but since I love words, maybe I need to create a word and start a hashtag for those of us.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Maybe we can brainstorm. We can come up with this word, Dennis, because
We definitely could. We could brainstorm on it.
I feel like I'm attacked. I feel like I'm under attack.
It's not
As
really under attack.
I do.
It only applies to you if you let it, and that's the way I feel about it. Sort of like Johnny Cochran said. No, that wasn't Johnny Cochran. What? Who said that? If it don't apply, let it fly. Who said that? I forgot who said it. But anyway, I just don't see it being a problem. They're talking about it, they've been saying it, they've been trying to enforce it. It's been big suggestions on it. Let them keep talking. And to me, it really is what it is. I'm really not in it for that. As I'm going to say, for my final words, make sure, and I always tell a lot of fellas that's married or together or living in a household, make sure that you take care of your household and don't let nobody come dictate your household.
Mm-hmm.
Can't let no outsiders come in, start dictating your household and saying this and saying that. Take care of your household. There's always gonna be somebody that's gonna try to come in and try to take what you got because they don't like the way you run things in your household. Take care of your household.
And no matter how your household is made up, no matter who lives in it, what's in it, take care of it. I like to encourage men to be leaders in their household, not domineering, but leaders. I think there's a difference. Anything else you want to say about the children or anything?
No, that's about it.
Okay. So
That's
you ready for my final thoughts?
your final thoughts from the chocolate girl.
But first of all, as I do usually every Saturday morning, I always thank you for being my co-host on the show. You know, we co-host with each other. And I love doing the side Jawn with you every Saturday. Um, our 1 year anniversary is coming up on June 19th. And do you know, Dennis, that that's just over a month away?
Yeah, Juneteenth.
And what we gonna do? We gotta figure out what we gonna do. We just have no idea, do we?
No, I have no idea yet. No.
No idea. We'll figure out something. So trust and believe we'll do something to celebrate the 1 year of the side Jawn. Um, so here's what I want to leave you guys with. There are so many beautiful reasons to be happy today. Despite all the ugly things going on in the world, there's reason for joy today and every day. Find your joy today. Look for it and find it. You know how we were talking earlier about how some people looking for ghosts and chasing ghosts, looking through phones and trying to find something. No,
Yes.
you should be looking through and trying to find something, find a reason to be happy today. If you woke up discouraged today, if you woke up sad or kind of down or afraid or feeling a little hopeless today, I want you to do everything in your power to get rid of those feelings and find something to be happy about today. I trust you. Trust me. You can find it. Right now it's raining. It's just starting to, it's raining here, right? Rain makes it cloudy outside. And usually it does something to my mood because I'm a person who needs sunlight. Well, I have decided, despite the fact that it's raining, I'm going to find some sunshine today. Right here in my house, I'm going to find some somehow, and I'm going to dance like the whole world's watching when I find it. So I'm just going to encourage you and just tell you there are so many beautiful reasons to be happy today. Just be happy. That's my final thoughts. What about you, Dennis? Were those your final thoughts that you gave earlier about
Yes, they
taking care of
was.
your home?
Yes, they was.
You know, that scripture, you know, God, what is it? What's the scripture say?
I don't
That you're
know.
supposed to put your home first? I can't remember. I know one thing that used to be popular when I was young is the notion of charity begins at home. And that was a way of saying take care of your home first before you go out and take care of other folk. Take care of your home.
All right. Got to. You got to protect it too, as well. Like I said, because so well, let me just tell this quick story. I had a homie that came, had his house together, kids, wife, everything was cool. Family member needed somewhere to stay. They end up coming to his house, staying over there. Next thing you know, all this ruckus started in his house because of this unwanted guest that was there. And the guest told a lie that everybody tell. As soon as I get my income tax, I'm gonna move out. Taxes came and went, they ain't moved nowhere. So he ended up having to kick them out. Once he kicked them out, his house was right back to order. That's why I say you got to protect your house. That's why when I see a lot of people that be like, I lost my spot and I tried to go move to such and such house. They ain't want you there. They were protecting their house.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you sitting there thinking, well, I ain't that type of person to be doing this and doing that. You don't know who you are when you come into their home. Because right now you're outside.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter if you family or not. You're right.
You're outside. You got certain things that you do that you think are all right when you in your house. But now you in somebody else's house and you don't know how to act. Protect your house.
Yeah. Yeah. Protect your house. All right. So protect your house and find happiness and joy today. There's so many beautiful reasons to be happy today. Go find one.
Thank y'all for coming out. It's the Side Jawn and the Sam Sports Network. I forgot to say that. The Sam Sports Network.
Oh, did we join the network? I didn't know.
We have joined the Sam Sports Network.
You didn't tell me.
I thought BJ had the conversation with you. He said he'd been asking you to give him some clips. Y'all didn't have a clip conversation?
Yeah, he just asked me for the clips. That was it.
Oh, okay. That's up to BJ.
I didn't know why. I didn't know why he was asking for them. He just asked me, and I said, "Okay, here's a clip." Yeah. I had no idea what was going on, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes.
Hi, Sam Sports. Is it Sam Sports Network?
Sam
is that
Sports
what it is?
Network.
Okay. All right.
Thank y'all for coming out. God bless. Great day.